welcome to your messages for the week. Today is Saturday, the 18th of January, 2025. So, how is the year treating you so far? As I mentioned last week, and I'm really feeling it even more so this week, that everything is just exceeding my expectations and going beyond my imagination. And I think that's the way we need to live. Last week was all about creating from the now moment and from a clean slate, because I'm hearing all the time, and I appreciate their mirrors for my own limiting beliefs. I do get that bit after preaching it for so long. But I am hearing all around, oh, that will never happen, or that can't happen. That's just the way it is. And nothing is the way it is. You are the way you are. Punto. There is nothing else. And you get to create from that clean slate. And I think it's really important that we understand that, because otherwise we're not going to be inviting the miracles in. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to exceed our expectations. And I mean, that's just happening on little scale, and I think it's happening on big scales as well. And I've said so many times before, but I'm really feeling it. And I don't have any other information about it, but I'm feeling that by the summer of 2025, we will now, in our now moment, in January 2025, with our human minds, we cannot imagine what we're going to be living through or like or how in the summer of 2025. So I think advancements are going to go like in all directions, like off the scale. And of course, this is all Aquarian energy. So we're not surprised, right? Technology, expecting the unexpected, people power, humanitarian, freedom. I mean, the need for freedom is amazing. Everybody's experiencing it. So, yeah, free to be who you really are. And I think you might not, in your human mind, be actively or consciously looking for the freedom that you need, but the universe will have other plans for you. What is that saying? I love it, but it says, nothing makes God laugh louder than a human with a plan, because your destiny is God's plan, if you want to use that word. I like to think of it as your higher self's plan. And so the universe will take you there. Your higher self will take you where you need to go. I've talked quite openly about 3 years ago when I had a tower card moment and didn't know what was going on in my life. Everything just fell around me. But it was obviously all divinely orchestrated to bring me to my now moment at the garden retreat. So when you understand that's how it works, because I mean, I'm absolutely loving 2025, but I'm also observing a lot of people who are not. And I just want to reassure you, if you're not loving 2025 so far and you've got a lot of upheaval, it'd be interesting to see if the Tower card came out. Although I think the Tower card did come out in the yearly reading. I can't always remember. But if you haven't seen that one, it's for the month of January and 2025 ahead, the year of 2025 ahead. I'll put a link in the description and the video in the end screen, because I don't think, because of our limited human thinking, I don't think we can get to where we're meant to be in this lifetime. I don't think we're going to be able to fulfill our destiny without a Tower card moment, because we're just plodding along and we're just recreating the same from the same beliefs, not knowing that we can wipe that slate clean and actually create from a place of miracles. And so the universe will take you where you're meant to go. So if you are having some upheavals, please remember that's what's happening. Okay. Rather than putting yourself in victim mode, rather than complaining about it, rather than, I mean, yes, it's going to be, there's going to be some suffering, because that's the nature of it. But please understand that any suffering is a, that analogy where the arrow has to get pulled backwards before it can fly. Okay, so if you're feeling any suffering at all, please understand that it's your divine arrow just being pulled backwards, in order to fly forward. And I just think it makes the suffering easier. It helps you navigate the suffering with ease and grace, and it helps you process any negative emotions from a place of expanded awareness. So yeah, I think that's kind of really important to understand, because I do think it's all happening now in 2025. um, so yeah, and I'm just gonna, like an old gramophone record, how do we get out of this? How do we move forward? We move forward. I was going to say two things there. One is by the stillness. We know that stillness is the access point to acceleration. We know that if you want to go forward, you've got to slow down. And it's all about the reflection. It's all about what's going on the inside of you, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. But also, the other thing to do, of course, is just follow your love, follow your love, follow your love. Doesn't matter where, how, what. You see a park and you fancy walking in it, go walk in it. You know, you see something that doesn't please you, walk away from it. You've got to follow the love all the time. You find people that light you up, then invite them round, do more with them. See what they're up to. Can you go to some of their events? Can you support them in some way? If they're inspiring you, if you're feeling expanded when you're in their company, go check them out, go support them in some way, because that's what you want in your life. Follow the love, follow the love. You have a love for animals, get more animals. You have a love for music, play more music. You have a love for dancing, dance more. You have a love for tarot, read tarot more. Oh, and that reminds me, of course, check out on my website, deborahjanesutton.com, if you want to learn to read tarot for yourself, because my next course is starting in March. So check that out. I'll put a link to the website below. Okay, 3 cards have come out. Let's see what's going on. They're face down. What's going on this week, please? Here we go. We are reflecting. We are reflecting on what's serving us. So this is his big pile of things that he's accumulated. So in here, I mean, there is typically money. So there is money there. There's financial security, but there's also energy. There's time. But there's also material things, because Pentacles is earth, it's practical, and it's material things in the material world. So this could be he's looking at his wardrobe and he needs to have a clear out. Does that resonate with you? He could be looking at the spare room, which needs a clear out. I think that one resonates with me. He could be looking at the shed, the garden. Something needs a clear out. Something needs a clear out, and we know that the physical, emotional, and mental are all connected. So let's have a physical clear out this week. Let's clear all the clutter out. If you haven't used it or worn it in 2 years, you don't need it. That's the rule. Although, having said that, I have actually been back to a charity shop to try and find something that I threw away some time ago. I was taking this decluttering to probably a crazy level, and I threw away a lot of stuff that I actually could have done with keeping. But anyway, don't do it like me. Do it like the Seven of Pentacles. Reflect first. So he's looking at things that he's accumulated and the things that he needs to take forward with him. So he's basically going to follow the love. So there's some knowledge here that's inspiring him. He wants to go and study it. Okay. There are some books here maybe that he bought. Some of them he doesn't need to read anymore, because maybe he was resonating with them when he bought them, and now he's not. He doesn't need to read them anymore. But there's some other books that are suddenly, oh no, I never read that. I need to read that. Remember, everything has a level of consciousness, and we are going to gravitate towards things at the same level of consciousness as us, things that are vibrating at the same frequency as us. That's why we can read a book and then get bored with it. And that's why we can have a book for years and then suddenly want to read it. Okay, it's all about resonance. And we know that, don't we? So this is about decluttering. This is about looking at everything that you've got, looking at your life, reflecting. What do you want to take forward? What do you not want to take forward? So that's kind of a good message. It's kind of following on from what I've just said. Follow the love. If you love it, keep it. If you don't need it, get rid of it. It's a little bit like that, I think, energetically. Yeah, because we're moving on. We're moving on. So this is a lovely one. So this is actually the moving on card. So a lot of you, I think, will be physically moving house. But also it is to kind of do with home. But if you're having a declutter, What you're literally doing from an energy perspective is you're just getting rid of a load of unnecessary energy. Um, and that opens up for new energy to come in. So even if you're not physically moving home, you are shifting the energy of your home. This is a moving on. So it's kind of like, can you shift your environment, your immediate environment, into a higher frequency? Because you are in a higher frequency now, and we can't all go around moving house all the time. So this is about upgrading our environment to match our frequency. So this is about maybe getting some new stuff coming in, maybe some new furniture, some new furnishings in some way. It's some kind of bringing things in. Plants are always a good idea. Animals, if you are an animal lover, but obviously with responsibility, please. So yeah, but this is moving on because you are moving on to another life. I mean, it's 2025, right? And you're always raising your frequency, whether you know it or not. And so therefore your environment's going to be changing. So the more you understand that and the more you can go with that, the more you're nurturing and nourishing the new you and the new reality that you're creating for yourself. So, yeah, there's moving on. We are moving on. Swords are thinking. So, we are moving on to new ways of thinking. It's like kind of what I said before as well, creating from the clean slate. I said that last time, didn't I? The clean slate. Um, and so we can actually move on to create the new earth. Let's get it done now, hey, because we've been talking about it for a long time. Is the reality you're living, the is it your version of heaven on earth? And sometimes I think mine is, because I like just wake up happy sometimes, and I'm just like, oh my God, I love what I do, I love my animals, I love my life, and I can sit there with a big smile on my face sometimes thinking, wow, I'm in love with life. And then something else will happen to make me be even more in love with life, and then you just think, oh, hang on a minute, maybe this whole concept of happy, it's interesting, because if you had asked me 20 years ago when I was a school teacher, are you happy with your job? I would have said yes, because I'm fundamentally a happy person and enjoyed teaching the kids. But there were so many aspects of the job that were not in alignment with my divine truth. But because I had a belief that that's the way it is, I can't change that. And within that restriction, I'm happy. Do you see what I'm getting at? And I think on a different level, we're all doing that. I think our expectations are so low because of the paradigm in which we grew up in. I know I keep ranting about this, but I really think that we can create, like, there's just heaven on earth is beyond our imagination. And that's because the level of consciousness that we need to attain in order to create it is also beyond our imagination at this time. So, yeah, wow. I mean, it is just still all we could do is just keep following our peace as well, because you notice here, this is the troubled water, because the Six of Swords comes after the Five of Swords, which is conflict, mental conflict. So here's the troubled waters, and here's the tranquil waters. So the real message with this card is moving into calmer waters. So although it's on a physical level, often related to moving house, but on a mental level, because swords are mental processes, so, on a mental level, it's about moving into a state of peace. And the map of consciousness, which I talk about a lot, and if you don't know anything about it, I'll put a link in the description and the video in the end screen to that one as well, because I've done a whole video on it. But the map of consciousness actually has love at 500, and then you've got joy at 540, and then you've got peace at 600. Now, when I was studying it, they were saying that there's very few people on the planet vibrating at 600 or above. And if they are, we're probably not going to find them because they're vibrating at that frequency, right? And they're probably a hermit up a mountain somewhere. But if we are serious about creating heaven on earth, there's more and more and more of us all the time that are raising our frequency. So there's going to be more and more people vibrating at that level of peace, because we're in tranquil waters, calm waters. It's all about keeping the peace in your heart while you observe what's going on. Okay. There's going to be more and more people that are vibrating at that level. So, yeah, this is about actually transcending the state of love and entering the level of consciousness of peace, so that we can observe the conflict, but we can feel the tranquility within, because that peace is who we really are. That peace is our natural divine state, and it's our man-made fears and beliefs and programming that actually takes us away from the peace that we really are inside. So the peace exists. The peace exists, and we can feel it sometimes, right? If you just like stop, drop your shoulders, take a moment, inhale, love yourself, feel into it. Doesn't take us long, does it? Like 3 breaths. Three is the magic number. Can you take 3 breaths with me? Eyes open or eyes closed, it doesn't matter. Just take one more. Feel your whole self expanding. Exhale. Can you feel the peace? The peace that you are? That's your natural state. Can you feel your shoulders dropping? Can you feel comfort? If you have any aches and pains, I just want to add this one, because I did this the other day with my back. If you have any aches and pains, you can just sit and breathe. And as you inhale, just love. Don't even think about what you're loving. Just focus on the energy of love. Just focus on love. You love, love. Inhale the love. And as you exhale, put your consciousness in your mind's eye, but put your consciousness on whichever part of your body is aching. And then exhale out as you visualize the exhalation, just wrapping the pain up in that love. And you'll find that the pain will dissipate, and you'll find that, the aches and pains will go, they'll subside, because you're putting your focus on love and not on the pain. Just take a few breaths, and you can do that in all parts of your body. Inhaling the love. As you exhale, send it to a part of your body. And if there isn't a part of your body, if you have no aches and pains, well done. Then I don't know, send it to the heart or send it to the mind. I don't know. Is your mind really in your brain? I don't know. That's an interesting one. But anyway, just send it to yourself. Wrap your whole self in the exhalation, of that love, and then you can inhale the gratitude with the love, and then it just starts expanding. You see, I'm already doing that because I'm focusing on the love. I'm focusing on wrapping myself up in love. And then I start thinking, oh, I'm so grateful. So then you can put gratitude in that. And then you keep going, and then it just feels so joyful. And then you're like, wow, I'm going to put joy in that. Because remember, we've got love, 500, joy, 540, and then peace at 600. So keep going, keep going. I feel like I need to exhale something. Okay, so just by thinking, talking to yourself like this, just by breathing, just by being conscious, you're bringing that love in, and then whatever is not of love has to come out, like I just did, and then you keep going, and then wow, you can feel this expansion, and there's the peace. Can you feel the peace? Can you feel the peace that you are? Can you feel it inside of you? It's you. Hello, peace. Oh wow. Wow. Create from there. Create from that place of peace. Stay there. Create from that place of peace. Wow, brilliant. Our last card this week is the Six of Pentacles. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles and the 6 and 7. And when you have consecutive cards like that, it's always really positive. It's a sign that things are moving quicker than normal, quicker than you can imagine. We're going 6 of Pentacles, we've got 7 of Pentacles here, and we've also got 2 sixes. okay, which in my interpretation just means that everything is amplified. Everything is amplified. So I really feel that for 2025. The Six of Pentacles is financial stability. There is financial security there. You may not be a millionaire because you don't need to be a millionaire. Are you going to have enough to do what your soul wants you to do? Yes. Yes, you will. Yes, you have already. Look, you already have enough to do whatever it is that your soul wants you to do. So somebody needed to hear that message. Now, he's very balanced. What goes out comes in. He's giving to the poor. What did I say before? Find people that you love and invest in them. Find people that resonate. Find if you see some a charity and it's genuinely run, of course, please check that first. And it's expanding your heart and you're feeling a connection to it, invest in it. Spend your money, your time, and your energy. It doesn't have to be money. You could be doing volunteer work, but somehow you're helping the poor, always helping, being of service to humanity, because our destiny, it's all service to humanity in one way or another, because that's what we came here to do. And the best way to serve others is to serve yourself because you are the whole universe in one human being. And so we naturally, instinctively serve ourselves when we serve others. So that's a beautiful reminder, isn't it? And to keep that balance going, don't run yourself ragged helping other people. That doesn't help anybody. We help others more readily when we come from a place of expansion and we come from a place of peace, which we can cultivate ourselves as we've done already today. Wow. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. I love you all. Please get in touch if you want to learn to read tarot with me. I'll be excited to have you on the course and have a fantastic week. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.